EMR systems, and I'm going to show you a quick demonstration on the Odoro dashboard, a little follow-up to the previous demo on the patient portal workflow that you just watched. So our dashboard works with, obviously, once the appointment has been scheduled, through a couple other options that we have for you. What options do we have in a dashboard? First off, the dashboard can be used as a standalone product. So you don't have to use Centricity Scheduler. If you don't want to, you can use the Odoro dashboard for all your scheduling needs. If you choose to, you can use it side by side with Centricity, or you can not use it at all and still use your Centricity Scheduler as your primary workflow method. Doesn't matter to us, but you do get some benefits of using the dashboard, which we're going to go over some of those benefits here today. So first off, we're looking at the calendar date here, and we're looking at October 28th, and we're looking at Dr. Kidman's calendar. And if I want to choose a different doctor, just simply choose the name on the left-hand side, and I will look at that doctor's calendar as soon as I choose the name. Now, notice there's a big, bright red bar on the side next to my time slot. This is just telling me the location that provider is currently scheduled on. And if I cycle through here on Dr. Kidman, go to some of the November timelines, you can see it go to blue, and that just means it's River Oaks, Maine, as opposed to River Oaks East. Let's go back to our 28th here. There we go. Okay, so that's what the big bright color bar is just signifying, that what location that provider is working at on that particular day. All right, so on the calendar itself, if I highlight and put my cursor over the actual appointment, you're going to see some icons showing up on the right. So it just gives you a little additional features once I've activated or hovered over really that appointment. But before we get there, let's talk about some of the little icons that we see on this particular appointment, starting with the blank white box here. This is just our scheduling status notice, and I can cycle through these as I click, and notice that it changes colors on the appointment itself. But to identify what those means, we have a little legend on the top right, and if I go to my status icons, it's going to show me which each of them mean to me. So if it's blank, it means that appointment has been scheduled. If there's a little dot, it means it's arrived and waiting. If it's green background with a check in, it's completed. An X with kind of a pinkish background is going to be a no-show. Purple with a diagonal slash, no documents. And of course, the blue with a straight means that appointment has been scheduled for personal use. Now, next to that icon, you can see a little computer screen. If you can kind of see it in a little faded area there, that's our source icons. That's just telling you how the appointment was actually scheduled. So if you look at the little computer screen, it just means it was scheduled via the patient portal. If it has a headphone, it means it was scheduled through our call center, which is not yet available in the American market. This product has been live in several countries with thousands of providers, so we're just now implementing this in the American market. So look for that to come in your near future, sometime in 2016. And then we have the IVR method. That is available today. It's the ability to schedule an appointment through your touchstone keypad using the prompt service, basically the exact same workflow that you saw in the previous demo. It would match that identical using the cell phone and the date of birth as your patient matching criteria. And then our mobile app, again, it's something that's going to be coming down the American market into 2016. Just allows them to schedule their appointment, view their appointments, and contact the clinic through our mobile app. And then a little down arrow just means that it was imported through a third-party program. And if any of them are pink, it means that they have been modified at some point. Following that icon, you're going to see a number that's just the patient ID of the patient itself being pulled over from Centricity. And if I click on the user, you're going to see the demographics show up on the left-hand side. Now, these demographics, again, are being pulled from Centricity. We cannot update them here, but if you are using a standalone product, you have the ability of updating your demographics within the Odoro dashboard. The newborn is going to be the the appointment type. And then notice that I hover over, get the new icons I mentioned earlier. The first one being the SMS just gives us the ability to text message our patients through the number on file, and I can set up some message templates to kind of speed up this process, or hand type my own. Notice that we have a reminder on there in a snowstorm. I can add in a delay option as well, just to inform some of the patients that maybe they don't need to show up on time because we're running 2 or 3 hours behind. Now, we also have an edit option here. If I click on the edit, it just allows me to change the date and time of the appointment as well as the status, not the demographics, unless I'm using this as a standalone product. And of course, I can delete this appointment at any time. And if you notice on the top, another little yellow section up here, this is our messaging queue. And this messaging queue works with the waiting list that we went over again in the previous demo. Also, if a user were to reply back to our SMS, those replies would also go to the messaging queue. Another way to use the messaging queue is just to put maybe some patient information, maybe a little notifier for our staff that's using the dashboard about that patient, whether that patient maybe he's a personal friend of the provider, or maybe he's a little hard to handle, or maybe he's just a fantastic patient and we just want to treat him a little better than the rest because he's so good for us. We have the ability to just basically creating an internal flag system within the Odoro product. And with that messaging system, you also see the very same options that we saw on the calendar date itself. Okay, now outside of the calendar visibility, let's talk about our settings. So on the settings, these settings are completely unique per provider, and these providers can alter their work hours in here. You don't have to. We can pull some of this information over from Centricity. Same thing with the vacation as well as the holidays. So if you have it blocked out in Centricity, it'll automatically be blocked out on the Odoro side as well. So no need to update it if you have Centricity kind of dictating that. Now, we also do offer a reminder system. Currently, our reminder system works with text and voice, but we are looking to implement an email option here in the near future. As with anything with SMS, there is a small fee for that. However, we will match any current third-party vendor option right now. In here, we can choose how often reminders are sent and how often they are sent as well. For the settings, we can choose how far out the calendar is visible for the patients, and again, this is per provider. And we can also create our SMS templates down here below, and you can create pretty much as many as you like. Under our user management is where we can add certain users to our blacklist. Blacklist just means that they cannot use the Odoro product. Instead of getting a counter, they just get a phone number to call. And now we can use other identifiers for the blacklist. It doesn't have to be by patient ID. In this case, it would be patient ID, but we can tie it to a flow sheet value or some type of checkbox, since the sensitive chart option in there, if you would like to. And then the limit period just allows us to dictate certain appointment types and how often they can be scheduled. So, for example, in a wellness, maybe it's once every 12 months, then we can set that limit here as well. All right, thank you for joining us for the Odoro dashboard demo. If you have any other questions, please contact us at sales@mdmrsystems. Thank you.